let's try some SOHCAHTOA trig problems here. I'll scratch that out. SOHCAHTOA. We're trying to find the angle theta. Here's our angle. We have to remember what's opposite, what's adjacent, and what's hypotenuse, so we can set up the correct trig ratio. This right here, when I go over here, this would be opposite the angle, and then the part that's forming the angle that's not the hypotenuse is the adjacent. So we're going to set up the ratio that uses the O and the A. The O and the A is a tangent. We're going to have tangent. What goes right by the trig function is always the angle, in this case theta, equals opposite over hypotenuse. On some of the previous lessons, you were just setting up the problem. Now we're going to solve it. First of all, make sure your calculator is in radian mode. And to solve this, we're going to use the inverse, the second, the shift key. So I'm going to hit second, tan. If your calculator does not do parentheses, you need to type in the parentheses 4 divided by 3. So here's how that would look on my calculator. Tan inverse is what pops up of 4 divided by 3. This is going to give us the missing angle. The angle is about, I'm having trouble with my pen here, sorry. The angle is about 53 degrees. You might have to round it, follow their directions. Try a couple more. Here's my angle. Across, that's my opposite. But this time I have the hypotenuse. I know it's the hypotenuse because it's across from the right angle. So I have opposite and hypotenuse. I check my notes. That means I'm going to set up the S for sine. It's going to go sine of my angle equals opposite over hypotenuse. Type that in the calculator. You do that second shift inverse. Type in 5 divided by 12. This is going to give us the angle. You're still in degree mode. About 25 if I'm rounding up. Got one more down here to finish things off. Here's my angle. I know across from the 90 is hypotenuse. What we call opposite is across from the angle. We don't know that one. The one that we want to use is the one that is right on the angle but not the hypotenuse. That's my adjacent. Let's get this set up. Adjacent and hypotenuse, that's the one we hadn't tried out yet. That's going to say cosine of our angle. Adjacent over hypotenuse, that's 7 over 25. You're going to do the inverse of that and then round it off about 74 degrees. I hope that's coming back to you from other math classes.